Good morning. We'll conduct a training module on CPD training webinar on physical and mechanical properties of wood and non-wood forest products, Level 1. I'm Elvina Bondad, Chief Physics and Mechanics Section, Material Science Division, Forest Product Research and Development Institute, DOST. A physical property is a characteristic of a substance that can be observed or measured without changing the identity of the substance. Physical properties include color, density, and others. Mechanical properties are properties that a material exhibits upon the application of forces. Examples of mechanical properties are the modulus of elasticity, tensile strength, elongation, hardness, and fatigue limit. We'll discuss it later. The PMPL caters needs of the forest-based industries for the strength and related properties of lesser-used species, tree plantation species, and non-timber forest products. Information on these properties will provide specific end use and new wood application, especially for the construction, furniture, and handicrafts, pulp and paper industries. One of the technical services offered by the Physics and Mechanics section is the provision of testing services to clienteles. As one of the major final outputs of the Institute, the Physical and Mechanical Properties Testing Laboratory have an ongoing project on upgrading and accreditation for ISO IEC 17025 testing laboratory. To ensure the quality of tests and a competitive testing laboratory for the manufacturers, users, academia, and the public. We offer the following tests based on specific standards applicable for them. Also, we have a projects on physical and mechanical properties on wood and non-wood forest products to evaluate their end uses. We tested the wood, non-wood forest products, the bamboo, rattan, and vines, composite boards, panel, tiles, and others, corrugated boxes, liner board, corner posts. In pallets, wood pallet, paper, plastic. On concrete, there's concrete, cylinder, hollow blocks, and concrete panels. This is the sampling scheme used in a project based on standard procedure. This is for wood. And this sampling scheme was for bamboo, but for some clients, we advise to provide us at least 3 samples each test to have an average and make it conclusive. Mostly they are from tableria. For students, they should follow the standard procedure, especially thesis students. On physical properties, we tested the moisture content, relative density, and shrinkage characteristics of wood and non-wood forest products. We also test the water absorption and thickness swelling. So under physical properties, the moisture content is the amount of water present in wood. It affects many properties of wood, fiber saturation point, and we also determine the equilibrium moisture content. So, we determine the moisture content with oven drying method and the moisture meter. And this is the formula for moisture content: weight initial, weight oven dry over weight oven dry times 100. This is the picture of oven and the moisture meter that is used by the manufacturer to get at once the moisture content of their samples. So another physical properties is the relative density, which is one of the best index in strength properties of wood aside from mechanical properties. It's a measure of the amount of soluble substance in wood. It's also good indicator of many properties of wood. So when relative density increases, the moisture content decreases. The ratio of oven dry weight of wood to oven dry of equal volume of water is the relative density. So another physical properties is the shrinkage characteristic determination. It indicates the dimensional change of wood and other materials when you season your samples. The drying, decrease in moisture content, and soaking of samples in water, increase in water absorption. So, reduction in dimension result from the loss of moisture below fiber saturation point, which affect the quality of wooden products. So, there are also formula for the shrinkage characteristic. These are the equipment used in shrinkage properties determination, the depth gauge for 4-inch longitudinal side and 1 inch for the sides, the radial and tangential. Also the weighing balances, the analytical balance for sample weighing. In physical properties, we also use the humidity controlled cabinet to maintain the sample's condition at different levels of moisture content with temperature and relative humidity. We use also, as stated earlier, we use ovens to get the moisture content from green to oven dry condition. We get the constant weight of the sample before the panel weighing or recording of data. Also, an oven for the determination of shrinkage characteristic at different MC levels. So, for mechanical properties, we followed standard testing procedures like ASTM D143, standards for testing small clear specimens of timber. Also, the ASTM D1037 standard test methods for evaluating properties of wood-based fiber and particle panel materials. We also use different standard for different tests, like later is some mechanical properties. Equipment used in the mechanical properties were the following: a new 300 kilonewton capacity UTM, which is equal to 33 tons with software. We set the data, then we can easily get the mechanical properties, the modulus of elasticity, modulus of rupture, makuha na natin dun sa software. It's also our old UTM with load capacity of 10 tons. It is the most old UTM for bigger capacity specimens like panel board, beams, concrete materials, pallets. Also in the testing of cylinder hollow blocks. It is a 200,000 pounds load capacity, which is equal to 100 tons. Under the mechanical properties, we tested the following: static bending, compression strength, compression parallel and compression perpendicular to grain, shearing strength, hardness, toughness, nail screw withdrawal, and tensile strength. We'll discuss it one by one. For static bending, it measures flexural capability of wood. It determines fitness for use as beams, rafters, stringers, girders, floor joists, scaffold, and platforms. The MOE, which the modulus of elasticity, is the ability of material to recover the original shape and size after stress is removed. Stress at proportional limit is the point of non-recoverable deformation. So MOR is the modulus of rupture, which the load required to cause failure in bending. This is the samples or the setup for static bending. Yes. There are different beams, and we have the, based on the standards, we have the standard size, standard speed of the machine to get the your required or your specific values. Also the setup for static bending. This compressive strength is also one of the mechanical properties. It measures the ability of wood to resist load in a direction that tends to crush the member. We have the compression parallel, under compression strength, and compression perpendicular to grain. This is the setup for compression parallel to grain, and then the other one is the compression perpendicular to grain. Another mechanical properties is the shearing strength. Measure the ability of wood to resist forces that tend to cause one part of the material to slide or slip on another part adjacent to it. It's also the setup for shearing strength. Another mechanical properties is hardness, which measure the resistance of wood to indentation, wear, or scratch. It's an indicator for uses as floors, paving blocks, bearing rollers, and similar other uses. So we have specific name of wood to be used as floor. So with the hardness determination, we can if it will indent at once, so it's soft or hard. Another test for mechanical properties is the toughness. This is the once in the picture is the setup also for hardness, which we use the Janka balls for indentation. There are also standard for using that when you put it in a machine. Another test for mechanical properties is toughness, which is the ability of wood to withstand suddenly applied loads towards the sudden impact. Important properties for handles of striking tools like hammer, axe, and sporting goods, baseball bats. This is our old toughness machine. We have also standard procedure for that. For nail withdrawal, this is the setup used, and also for tensile strength. This one also of the mechanical properties of wood. For the strength properties grouping as stated in the table, the wood species are classified into 5 strength groups or classes as set forth by the Forest Products Research and Development Institute System of Strength Grouping Philippine Timber Species. These are high strength, Group 1, moderately high strength, Group 2, medium strength, Group 3, moderately low strength, Group 4, and low strength, Group 5. Strict adherence to the strength class limits is maintained in assigning species to a certain group. The properties considered in grouping the species are modulus of rupture and modulus of elasticity in static bending, maximum crushing strength in compression parallel to grain, shearing strength, and relative density. Since species within a group can substitute for the other, the strength grouping of Philippine timbers can guide the producers, manufacturers, traders, and wood users in evaluating and selecting the appropriate species for a particular end use. The system is envisioned to promote the rational utilization and marketing of an array of lesser-known and plantation-grown species in the market. On the other hand, the engineers, architects, and builders can rely on this strength grouping to simplify their designs and specifications in the construction. For the recommended end uses, when we get all the properties for the physical and mechanical properties on the basis of available research and market information on actual application and uses of Philippine commercial, lesser-known, and plantation-grade timbers, the following end uses are recommended for each strength group. For Class 1, the high strength, the end uses is for heavy-duty construction where both strength and durability are required such as in shipbuilding, railway, sleepers, friction and bearing blocks, pulleys, sheaves and rollers, bridge and warp timbers, and others. For class 2, moderately high strength, it's for medium heavy construction such as heavy duty furniture and cabinets, medium grade beams, girders, rafters, doors, and cords and purlins, flooring, door panels, and frames. Others. Class 3, medium strength. For medium construction such as general framing, paneling, medium grade furniture and cabinet, veneer and plywood base and core, low grade beams, rafters, purlins, and others. Class 4, moderately low strength. For the production of pulp and paper, wood carving and sculpture, conventional for moderately low strength, for the production of pulp and paper, wood carving and sculpture, conventional furniture, doctoring board, toys, Venetian blinds, gates, pallets, and wood. For other tests, there are pallets. We also test pallets, and we are also doing some accreditation or starting for the accreditation of pallet testing center. We tested the pallet compression and bending. We also test in their plants using manually tested because our machine are the dimensions are not our machine cannot test that for bigger sizes. So we do it actually on their plants. We also test concrete cylinder requested by mostly yung mga housing, National Housing Authority or the constructions. The concrete cylinder. We also use other standards for the test. Also the hollow blocks. Also test hollow blocks. And also the concrete panels. They use it mostly on the wall or other divider. Also the boxes, we tested the box compression test used by different industries for their products. Kung ano yung load na kaya ng box. You get the maximum load. In physical and mechanical property testing, we have testing piece per sample. Stated in this table. So you can inquire us or when you have a project to be tested with the minimum testing piece. So we have testing piece for other test method. So in physical mechanical properties section, we have publications on strength and related properties of timber. Nandun din po yung mga classification and uses and the groupings what timber belongs to high strength, medium strength, moderate high strength, low strength. We also have publication on relative density, the shrinkage also, and different journals or other publication on wood and non-wood forest products like bamboo, pines. Yes, if you have question, you can write us or you can come to our office with this contact numbers and website or email ad. Thank you very much.